Greetings, everyone. It's Adina here from Immigrant Finance Podcast, and I am so happy to be here with our guest, Gaby Zavala. Welcome, Gaby.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Gaby is one of our wonderful Illuminate Digital students and is in the process of starting her business right now, Latinx Career Coaching Services. So she's going to be sharing with us a little bit about her story, why she's creating this, and how she's going to be helping a lot of people in the community through this amazing business. So I'm really excited to jump in. Let's just start off of introducing yourself. So I know you're a social worker, you have an MSW, you've been doing social work and helping people for a long, long time now. And so this is a big pivot for you to think about actually starting your own thing. So talk to us about kind of how did this all start? Maybe share when your family first came here and how that led to where you are now.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dina, for having me here today. So pretty much I am an immigrant from Mexico, was born in Durango, Mexico, came here at the age of 7, immigrated with my mom and dad and my 3 siblings. And, my parents just decided that they wanted a better future for us. So immigrated here at the age of 7, attended elementary school, and then graduated high school. Being a first generation student, after high school, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and just not having a clear career plan. And even my counselor at one point told me that, well, you're graduating from high school, right? But you're not going to college. And I was a little bit surprised and just, unsure. And I did attend community college for quite some time, actually, to be exact, about 8 years, until I finally realized that I needed to really figure out my career plan, because I really wanted to make, a good living to eventually one day have a family to provide for them. So then, after many struggles, feeling very, experienced some depression and some anxiety, and after figuring out a plan, I finally decided what I wanted to do. Actually created a plan for myself, and finally transferred to Cal State Fullerton, graduated in 2 years with a BS in Human Services, and worked with that for about 10 years. Did have some imposter syndrome because being first generation, you're just navigating this whole career on my own without really any guidance. My parents obviously are there for me, but they're surviving too. So I had to kind of figure things out on my own. And so once I worked for about 10 years with the bachelor's, I went ahead and decided I wanted to get a master's degree. And I actually failed at my first attempt to graduate school. I went to Cal State Fullerton, degree in public administration. I unfortunately, because I couldn't maintain my GPA, I was unfortunately asked to leave, and that really gave me an opportunity to really think things through and think, like, what do I need to do to ensure that I can have earn a master's degree? And so after some really deep work and really thinking about my next steps, I applied to another university, decided that I wanted to pivot and go into social work, and was accepted to USC. After 3 years, I earned my degree in social work. And so have been a social worker for almost 10 years now, and I really enjoy helping people. And so I also want to then now turn around and be that change for somebody else, so that they don't have to go through what I have gone through, like not have to live paycheck to paycheck, really try to empower people so that they don't spend 10 years trying to figure out their career plan, so they don't have to go through what I went through. So as first generation, I want to really empower others to make a good living, but just make it go much faster than what I had to go through. So that's why I'm here. That's why I decided that I wanted to have my own business and really empower those individuals, and kind of help those really make their dreams come true in reality, and helping them plan so that they don't have to go through what I went through.
So amazing and so inspiring. You're really like exactly the kind of person I think of when I think of our program for starting businesses, because we're all about starting businesses to help people that are mission based on your life experience. And that's exactly what you're creating. You've had some struggles, and I really appreciate you being so vulnerable and sharing it with our community, so others, going through that, know they're not alone, and that we can normalize those challenges. But the fact that you're turning it into something that can help others is just incredible, and you're going to be very successful for that reason alone. Yeah. It always shocks me when you mention how you struggled in school, because you're like one of our best students. You're always ahead of the modules, you show up to every coaching session. So what do you think was going on? I'm just curious to dig a little deeper. Like, why were you struggling in school? Was it connected to your immigrant experience? And is that something that's kind of an unmet need that you're trying to help people with?
I honestly don't think I had a very good life and school balance. I didn't really have a lot of balance, and I I was working full time and going to school full time. So really finding that balance for myself, I think that's where I struggled. Really ensuring that I was looking out for the future, but at the same time I was trying to maintain myself and I've been independent, and so really being independent and sustain myself, and at the same time go to school. So I think, and also two organizational skills, I think I didn't have them as well as I would have liked to be much better organized, and really maybe having some really good time management skills. I think I have improved on quite a lot. I think that had a lot to do with it, a lot of time management and really prioritizing my goal. Like, where do I see myself in 5 years? Where do I see myself doing in 5 years? To really have a plan and take little steps by steps to get those goals done. So I think that's where I was lacking.
Yeah.
And even too, like I mentioned, imposter syndrome, like really not knowing if I'm doing this right, and trying it out and see if I succeed. And if I don't succeed, I just get up and try something else.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine when you're the first in your family to be going through school and not have that guidance and having to work full, to get through it all. It's a lot to balance. So those organizational skills are critical. And I remember you had that aha moment in one of our sessions, when you were like, oh, that's something I can help people with, is the organizational skill. Like, it's not just the mental health part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so interesting, because that's what social workers are really helpful with compared to like therapists, right? Is that kind of planning piece. So for people who aren't familiar with social work, do you want to maybe explain a little bit how social workers have that expertise?
So pretty much as a social worker, I've been fortunate enough to be able to access, higher education, and through my social work program, we are taught different modalities when it comes to working with individuals. Like, we get trained on trauma-informed care. So really being able to help those individuals that are coming in that may have experienced trauma. Also motivational interviewing skills too, where we're really good at listening and providing feedback, and really honing in on what an individual really wants, and really setting up a plan for them on what they want. So I think it works really well with being able to help those individuals really figure out their career plan. Because similarly, as a social worker, you're there to support the individual, really respect their needs, really listen to them, and then set up a care plan for them to ensure that whatever needs that they need, we're working hand in hand with them to ensure that they get what they need. And then we give a specific timeline. Okay, within the next 6 months, we're going to reach these goals. Within this timeline, we're hoping to, depending, like I work with hospital setting, I work at different settings, but regardless of the setting, it's important to have a really clear vision of where you're headed. Where are you headed? Where do you want to get to? So similarly to a career plan, it's the same thing. It's really trying to empower those individuals to decide their priorities and move forward and make those steps. And even if it's small steps, something, positive.
Yeah, and you're so uniquely suited to do this from your experience, but also that skill set as a social worker. I don't think I've heard of a lot of career coaches that are social workers. Have you come across any or heard of it?
Not too many. No.
But it makes perfect sense, right? So I'm really excited for you to be able to apply that skill set to help others. And tell us a little bit more about, why this is important to you to be helping the Latinx community with career coaching, and sort of, what you've gone through that has led you to realize the need.
Right. When I was attempting to complete my degree, my bachelor's degree, I remember really well that I had moments to where, because I didn't have a degree or any sort of specialized training, I remember feeling really helpless. I remember working at a temporary agency, and I was sorting paper. I remember getting up at 5 a.m. to be at work by 6.
Mhm.
And I remember that I was making minimum wage, and I thought to myself, oh my goodness, am I going to be doing this for the rest of my life? I can't imagine doing this for the rest of my life. So I was living check to check, and I wasn't making a lot of money, just surviving. And so I felt really stuck.
Yeah.
And so I feel that in guiding those individuals, Latinx first generation like myself, to not have to go through that, not have to go through feeling really desperate and feeling, brokenhearted that I'm not gonna make a good living. I really, that's the goal, just to prevent that from happening. I was feeling pretty defeated, and because I didn't really have a plan. And so I think that's why I really want people to feel empowered. I really want people to not have to go through what I have gone through, feeling that that I'm powerless, which in reality we are not powerless. We have every right to and all the choices in the world. We just have to be prepared to take the next step. So I don't want people to be feeling like they can't make things happen for themselves, when in reality they can, just like myself. So I think that's why I feel like I want to make an impact. And we're the future. There's a lot of Latinx individuals, and we're the future, and we're the workforce. So the more prepared we are, the better. And we'll improve the economy.
I'm just thinking about how different things would be if more people got to work with you, and what that would do for the community and the economy even, right? Just like more people being in the right jobs for what they're meant to do, and like not having to be in these minimum wage jobs, not stepping into their potential, right?
Mhm.
So it's very, very exciting. What are you looking forward to about it when you have, your first students working with you, your first clients, and who would be like your dream client?
So my dream client, honestly, any a Latinx individual who has an idea where they want to get to, and helping them get there. And the favorite part about even getting the training as a social worker is really hearing people's stories. Like, to me, that's I enjoy that so much. It's like learning about where they came from, and what they want to do, and maybe a little bit about who they are as in the family, and everything. That, to me, that's just like the most interesting part of getting to know somebody, getting to know their goals and aspirations, and helping them get there, and working together with them is like, to me, that's the best part. So an individual who really wants to explore their career options, anybody who's interested in possibly making a change, or anybody who wants to has an aspiration to do something different, or maybe get additional training. It doesn't necessarily have to be college. It could be somebody wanting to get a specialized training, maybe to improve their family as a whole, to bring a better quality of life to their family. So first generation, just like myself, I just want to really be able to help those individuals get to where they want to be, and just guiding them through the process.
I love it. I relate so much what you're saying about the story. Like that's actually why I became an immigration lawyer, because I loved working one-on-one with people and hearing their story, helping them advocate for themselves. So a lot of crossover with social work.
Mhm.
I am just thinking about too, like how this is going to be such an interesting way for you to make a difference, not being limited by the social work I don't know, way of helping, right? Like you can help people so much in that way, but having this business where you get to define how you're going to be helping people, who you're working with, when, the sky is really your limit here. So what has made you kind of want to explore opening your own business, and how did you get the courage to do it? Because a lot of people say they want to and never actually do the hard work of starting it, which you're doing right now, is very admirable.
Thank you. I think for me, really, I'm married and have 3 girls. So I was really trying to look for a little bit more flexibility and being able to develop a program that was accessible to individuals online and being able to help individuals, but at the same time, a little bit more terms in my terms, not having the traditional, 9 to 6 job or 8 to 6 job. So having a little bit more flexibility, improving the quality of life for my family as well. Because, I want to teach my girls that they can also do whatever they want to do. It really set a good example for my family. So, and not have to be constrained by an agency, per se on what I can and cannot do. Really tailoring a program to the individual to support them and ensuring that their needs are being met. So self-efficacy for the individuals that I'll be working with in the future. So that's very important to me.
Oh yeah, and you'll be able to expand your impact too, like as you grow and scale, because you'll be able to hire people to help you so you can help more people. There's very little we can do just by ourselves. So I'm excited for you to have that potential as well. I was also going to point out, I know you're very modest, but for people listening to know that Gaby knows what she's doing here with the career stuff compared to what you described in the beginning when you really struggled figuring out, school and jobs. You recently were able to find a new job with a higher salary, pretty easily. And I know you've had several different opportunities, come up. So tell us a little bit about your personal experience now at this stage where you have mastered this topic.
I'm very fortunate. I've been mentored and I've had people really help me. My family as well, my husband, very supportive as well. I feel that really for me, kind of knowing what I have to offer and knowing that I have pretty marketable skill sets. I'm Spanish speaking, kind of counts for 2 people because I speak English and Spanish.
Yeah.
And so I feel that for me, I just needed to take that leap and say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to apply and I'm going to put myself out there and see what comes of it, interview, do the best that I can. I mean, what I can do is just the best that I can, put my best foot forward and put it out to the universe that I'm looking for a position that will allow me to work remotely, spend more time with my family, interviewing it and see, if the agencies or, companies want to hire me. And I've been fortunate to where I've been offered positions and been able to accept and have more flexibility working from home. So just honing in on my skill set and preparing myself, I think has a lot to do with it too. And really always for myself, I always do my best to try to always find training opportunities for me because I think I'm a lifelong student. I'm always learning. So always knowing that I'm always learning and learning from everybody, not even just from school, even from other individuals. I'm always looking to improve myself, always trying to be cutting edge, to be competitive. So
cool.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. I've been very fortunate to been put in a good place.
Yeah. You're so impressive, and anybody who gets to work with you is going to be very, very lucky. I know. Is there anything else you want to add about, why you're doing this, what you're hoping to transform for others, the impact you're hoping to make? I know you've covered a lot.
Yes, we're in reality, I want to help those individuals that are possibly, not feeling content in their current place in their career. Maybe they're feeling a little isolated, they're feeling a little bit anxious, a little bit depressed of their current situation. There's always hope to try something else, try something new. And I want to try to do my best to try to help those individuals really improve their quality of life and really help them find their way. I want to inspire the first generation Latinx individuals to take the next steps and to improve their quality of life through, helping them make a career change. So
Yeah.
I think it's very important. I think I don't want to be the silent giant anymore. I want to be the more vocal giant, because there's so many of us, and I think we have the capability to really change the United States, to be honest with you. I mean, change
Totally.
the world, really.
Oh yeah. I mean, we know that in what is it, like 10, 20 years, the biggest population group will be Latino, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
So it's time.
exactly.
I am not Latina, but my daughter is half. So I
There you go.
personally want you to lead the way so she can have women to look up to like you and
Thank you.
students you'll be working with. Yeah, absolutely. And like also look at the wage gap. People are not getting their end of the deal that they should for all the work that the Latino community is contributing to this country. It's time for them to get the jobs and the pay they deserve.
Exactly. Absolutely. And I think there's no better moment than now, take the next step and empower those individuals like myself, Latinx first generation, to make those changes and improve their quality of life and really get out there.
Yeah.
So
what has it done for you to have this change, going from the minimum wage job and studying and struggling in school, not knowing what we want to do, to now having this professional career, having options? How has it changed your life?
It has changed my life significantly. I'm able to give quality of life for my daughters. I'm able to afford, sending them to the institution that I want. If I can send them, I can pick where I want to live. I don't have any financial strains, to be honest with you. I decide what I want to do next. Nobody, it's my decision. As I make decent money. I mean, so
yeah,
I feel very blessed. I'm very blessed in that regards. I recently just purchased a house too, so it's in the middle of a pandemic. So
yeah,
that has to tell you that if I can do it, anybody could do it. They really can. It's just a matter of really focusing and deciding what they want to do next. So yeah, it's given me an excellent quality of life. I can't say any more. And some friends that I talk to, I always try to emphasize that then you have more choices.
right.
Having a specialized training gives you more choices with your time.
Yeah.
So I've been very blessed. I've been very fortunate. Thank to God that I'm where I'm at.
Ojalá. Well, you've also worked really hard to get there, and you've struggled, and it hasn't been easy. It wasn't handed to you. You mentioned some really vulnerable things. You mentioned having to spend, you said 8 years in a community college, right? I believe. Sorry, I think I lost your Wi-Fi for a second. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. You mentioned having, getting kicked out of a master's program. Like, you've had some hard challenges. So you've put in the work to get there, and that makes you the most well-positioned to help others. Like, personally, if I was looking for a career coach, I would rather work with someone who's had some failures and learn from them than someone who just had it easy, because you know how to navigate all that. And what you're saying about how it changes your life when you have this transformation, it's actually really similar to what we talk about with finances and learning to master your finances. It's not just about the money. It's not just, and with the job, it's not just about having a more cushy job. It's like your family is different. Like, you get to have children, you get to choose how their lives look, where they live. You have options and choices. So that's what this is really about. It's about empowerment. I think finances and career. And just for people to know, there's nothing wrong with wanting that. Like, it doesn't make you greedy, right? Do you have anything you want to add on that? Because I think a lot of people kind of can feel shame for wanting more. We're sort of taught that in society.
I think with me growing up, I think I think it relates to maybe being more humble. You don't want to sound like, oh, I make this much money, or I want to make this much money, because like you said, you looked at it as greedy. But at the same time, for me personally, I want to be able to provide for my family. I want to be able to make a lot of my own choices. Like,
Yeah.
I want to have options. The more options I have, the better. So the more I feel, the more I've been trained, the more I can decide where I want to work. Like, if, let's say, for instance, like, let's say I work at a particular place, and then I decided, maybe this is not a match for me anymore. I want to transition out because of the training that I have. I could say, you know what, thank you so much for the opportunity. It's been great. It's been really nice working here, but I can transition out. So I think more training gives you more opportunities.
Yeah.
So for me, that's the most important thing. And also knowing my worth. And so coming into a job and knowing how much I do know and how much time and energy I have put into my education. And then I can expect a certain salary to say, this is what I need, and then not accepting the first offer and negotiating.
Yeah.
So I think if I have to, with my husband and I, we have to provide for our kids, and I want to provide the best that I can. So based on my training and all the schooling that I've had, I need to make a certain amount of money to provide for my family, to be able to pay for everything. So my father was actually a mechanic, and he would fix cars. And so he kind of taught me a little bit about, charging for the quality of work that he was doing. So he would charge them quite a bit to repair an engine, to repair this. So I kind of got a little bit from him, learning from him that you have to charge for your work.
Yeah.
That you do.
Okay, that makes sense, because you've always been, from our first conversation, I think, like, pretty confident in a really healthy way about your worth and about what you have to offer. And a lot of people don't have that. Most people. So I know that's something you'll be able to share with others, how you've learned that. It's very exciting.
Absolutely.
There's so much potential
Thank you.
here.
Thank you so much.
Of course. For people who want to learn more, maybe they want to do a free consult with you, or learn about how they can actually work with you in depth, how can they reach out?
Thank you, Dina. So I'm on Instagram. I'm under the name of Career Coach Gaby on Instagram. So please look me up, and I'll be happy to connect with you. I can offer you an hour of career coaching, so we can talk a little bit more about your goals, and I'll be happy to talk and see, how I can support you. So I'm excited. I'm also on Facebook under Gaby Zavala. And then if you want to email me, I'm at careercoachgaby@gmail.com. So I'm so excited, and I really want to make that impact, and I want to really be supportive of my fellow Latinx brothers and sisters. I just want to make it happen. So yeah, that's how they can get a hold of me.
It's happening. You've been doing such great work getting this off the ground. You've been working really hard, and it's going to make a big difference. So I'm so proud of everything you've done, and really excited for people to have this opportunity and resource available. So thank you so much for sharing a bit of your story with us.
Thank you, Dina. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. And I'm excited to continue with your program. Dina, you're a phenomenal coach. You have changed my life.
Oh, that's really, so sweet. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. I'm really enjoying working together. Thank you. Take care.